Hey everyone, Ryan here, M&R Productions, with my review of the 2022 LEGO Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness set number 76205 Gargantos Showdown. With 264 pieces, this set retails for $30 in the United States, and it does include 3 minifigs with Doctor Strange, America Chavez, and Wong. 3 of the 4, of course, represented on the box art, and unfortunately we don't get Scarlet Witch in the set. Would have been nice to have the full slate of 4 characters that we see on the box in the set, and apparently she's going to be a big part of the movie, so yeah, a little bit disappointing there, perhaps in a future set, but she's also available in other things now, so that's fine from that perspective too. But we have the Gargantos, or at least I assume this big monster thing is Gargantos, and then all the figures trying to fight it. The box art seems to be on the side of a big building in the city, as you can see the cars down below. The top of the box shows off Doctor Strange in 1:1 scale, and the back of the box is going to have the LEGO versions of the characters that we saw on the front, of course 3 of the 4 in the set, and then we have the actual thing on the streets of, I presume, New York there. So, pretty cool looking set. Let's unbox it. You wouldn't believe it, inside of the box we have Legos. There's 2 bags and an instruction manual. It looks like carrying over from LEGO Star Wars, we have the progress menu bar, and also there's apparently an issue with this build that is supposedly a big problem. I don't know, we'll find out later in the review. I'll let you know how it looks during the build process, but, I couldn't tell anything just looking at it that seems like it's going to be a big problem. And then they also advertised the 3 currently on the back burner canceled Marvel mechs that had their issue with the joints in the legs or hips areas. Who doesn't love a good Doctor Strange minifig? He's got a couple spells in hand. I'll remove those so you can see his torso better though. Truly a wonderful print on him with a lot of detail, very continuous from the torso to the waist to the legs. That's always one of my favorite features of LEGO minifigures, Star Wars, Marvel, and otherwise. Love his face, got the big hint of gray there on the side of his hairpiece that's printed on. Love that we've got the cape, which is rubberized, so you can actually take it off just like it comes off in the movies pretty easily. A little difficult with the way I've got it on the stand, but you get the point. It's something you can do. And in the back of the figure, you can see another really great print, which is nice. And then we have the second face underneath the hairpiece. Here's Wong, who is also casting a spell. He's got the pink pieces to represent his, not printed, unfortunately, just like the orange ones. Great torso print, waist print, and leg print, just like on Doctor Strange. Really good back print, and unfortunately, no second face. So a little bit disappointing there. Definitely could have had a second facial expression. Not really sure why not, but yeah, just not there. And then finally we have America Chavez, another really solid looking figure. She uses the mid-sized legs, and we can see the star on her back of the print, kind of like a denim jacket it looks like to me. And then if we take her hairpiece off, you'll see she also has a second face there. So 2 facial expressions on 2 of the 3 minifigs, not bad. But overall, a really good figure selection, save for the omission of Wanda. So I mentioned there was an issue with the build, at least according to Brickset, and looking at their article, you can see that what they were specifically talking about is this part right here under the eye, this curved piece and the pieces to the left and right of it in light gray that allow you to place in some of the tentacles. And essentially it seems that those 2 gray pieces are ever so slightly angled outward because of the curved piece. It just doesn't allow them to sit in perfectly, but I don't know. It seems like a big nothing burger to me. It doesn't affect the model. You can move all the tentacles just fine, at least these 2 at the front, right, that were the problem childs of the set. It's just not a big deal. It certainly isn't as big a deal as the issue with the Marvel mechs, where they would literally just fall over. So, yeah, I feel like that article was completely useless. It just doesn't seem like a thing at all. This is literally nothing. I was building this, and I, in my mind, knew that something was supposed to be wrong. It didn't catch what was wrong, so I had to go reread the article after I was done to understand what was wrong. It's nothing. All of that being said, this thing is kind of cool. It doesn't do anything necessarily. It's got all the functionality of the arms that can move and spin and stuff, but it doesn't have any shooting function. There's no flick fire missile, or I thought even maybe these were kind of the discs that you could shoot out of things that we've seen in some LEGO sets recently, but there's not even that. To me, the vibe I get from this thing is just very big Rathtar, and that just a much more solid, more well-built version. I just really like the way this thing is. You can see I can push down, put a lot of pressure on it, the legs, I guess, essentially. obviously aren't like bending or breaking, and that's really nice. They don't push out of the way automatically, so you get that. You've got some inverted tiles on the bottom side, which just kind of hold everything together. They don't serve any actual function. I do kind of like that you can spin the tentacles at the front here. Basically, I guess this would be his mouth, so you could theoretically open it up, have him eat a character like so, and then have him try to close it up or hold on to them. It's pretty cool. I like it. As far as the eye goes, we'll zoom in on the eye a little bit there. It's actually a print for the eye, so they do give him a little eyeball, and I'm not 100% sure if it's supposed to be off-center like that, but the white dot is shifted to the side. You could definitely spin this to have it be shifted up, right, or down if you wanted that, but I like the yellow color, and I think that everything around it fills in nicely, and you've got his eyelashes on top. Speaking of the eyelashes, I love the technique they used with the chi slopes here to get a practically perfect look on the top of it for closing off any gaps there. So basically this whole thing is angled down, and the one attached at the bottom isn't angled at all, the one that we had the quote-unquote problem with. I don't think that's a problem. So the one up here is actually angled down with the eyelashes on it, and that's just to kind of create a more complete look to, I guess, the eyelid of the singular eye there. And so as you'll see, if we pull one side of this off, you can see how the chi slopes are angled down and how those perfectly line up with the angle of the back of this piece as it's pushed into the front of the eye there. So I really love the look of that. I think they did a fantastic job. You can do a lot of funky things with it and move everything around as you please. Now, I'm going to stress test this because I do have a feeling that potentially this is not going to be enough to hold these on if you pull down on them. Well, maybe they are. Oh, no, there it goes. Okay, so it took a bit of pressure to get this whole thing to fall off, but it does have the attachment point at the bottom, and it's attached to the side. So, I mean, it seems like these things could fall apart, but I think for the play of like a 7-8-year-old, whatever, it's going to be mostly fine. So the supposed build error, in my opinion, is a big nothing burger on this set. It is not something to worry about. It is not going to affect your experience at all. It's literally nothing. It's worth it for the figures alone, in my opinion, for 30 bucks here, but the Gargantos is actually surprisingly good. I'm usually not a fan of big, wild animal builds from Lego like this. Like, I just prefer like a symmetrical, simple look of a clean, sleek starship from Lego Star Wars, but this is surprisingly very good, and it is unfortunately still the lone set from the new Doctor Strange movie, so we'll see if we get more in the future. Hopefully we would, but as of now, as your only option from the new Doctor Strange movie, I don't think it's a particularly bad offering. In my opinion, this is about as perfect of a build as you can have for something like this. It's got a really good figure selection, and all at a fair, relatively low price of $30. So let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and you can check out more Lego Marvel set reviews on the end screen now.